It is time for Season 1, Episode 15 of DobbsQuest, the weekly role-playing game we play with our very own Day, Turtle, and GameCube, our three characters. First off, we have Serene, the bardic elf, who will be played by Day.
Hello.
We have the mighty warrior Torgan, played by Lurking Turtle Gamer.
You know, I always wondered why instead of no, I would say nay, and everybody thought that was so funny.
And, of course, the stealthy thief Ghislaine, played by GameCube. You're too late!
That was going to be my intro.
That was a good try.
I've got nothing.
No.
You've got nothing like your powers, you see.
Oh,
Oh, that was mean.
that was worse than the last one.
That's no good.
That actually hurt.
Oh.
Oh. Well, a quick rundown of what all has happened on recent adventures. After much traveling, our adventuring party has made it to the Deepwood, last known residence of the elves of the Ironlands. Of particular interest to Serene, who is trying to track down information about her ancestors, current whereabouts of this lineage, being an elf herself, but from far-off lands. So after finally finding them, the trio has found that the elves of the Deepwood have been beset by a terrible a curse of sorts. They have been robbed of their voices by some supernatural entity, a horror. The group has learned that throughout the Ironlands and the surrounding regions, there are these mana springs, sources of magic that, for reasons not yet fully known, are bursting forth with too much, spilling over into the world. The elves, we now have learned, have tasked themselves with sort of damming up and staunching the flow as magic bleeds over into the realm, which is why they suddenly vanished so many years ago. They've apparently gone off to the far reaches of the Ironlands to prevent a sort of cataclysmic event of all this magic pouring forth. As a result, though, the lands where the elves reside are teeming with residual magical energy and the occasional terrible horror that is able to sneak through the spring from wherever it is that magic comes from. So the party has volunteered to seek out this entity that has cursed the elves of the Deepwood. Not expecting anything in particular in return, but we will see. Hopefully there will be some kind of reward available. That's always a nice
be
to
able
have.
to talk to them. That'd be nice.
Did we swear a vow at least to do this so we get the
Yes.
regular experience for our
Yes.
quest? So even if there's no
I did.
tangible reward, there is that.
Yes, the vow has been sworn. The pact is made. Meanwhile, we have Torgan, brave shield-bearing warrior, who has been on a long quest to uncover the mysteries surrounding the attack on his horse and longtime friend, who, after much traveling and adventuring, we have learned was actually a descendant of a race of centaurs that have been cursed themselves, robbed of their humanity, And now we have just now learned that Torgon himself is also descended from these centaurs, but off the another leg of that ancestral chain, the one that has only the humanity.
One of the first two legs.
Is that where humans come from? Was they used to be?
No.
You had centaurs, and now you have
No.
horses and people.
No.
Okay.
Glain is just a human. Torgon is the oddball here,
Oh.
in that he is descended of centaurs.
Horse.
It all makes
Horse.
sense now.
It does. You did this, just so you know, Turtle.
I did this?
This is all stemmed from your initial vow. That was the first tiny domino that is now knocking down buildings.
The catalyst.
It was the catalyst of the adventure.
I'm still
All
waiting
right.
for you to figure out how to make the cat exciting.
If he
Yes,
almost
and-
dies again, can we give him a blood transfusion from a mollusk to save his life? So he can be part
I
horse,
refuse it.
part mollusk.
Perfect.
I refuse it.
You'll just wake up. You'll have no say.
Yeah.
Better dead
exactly.
than mollusk.
All right. So, that is where we are now. Is we're gonna track down this creature. So the information we have so far is that the game plan is essentially to strike this creature with whatever weapons, mundane though they may be, to weaken it. But a sort of incantation needs to be performed to properly seal it away, which the party has been instructed on how to perform this. Mechanically, this is going to be the finish the fight move.
It's a dance.
So you'll have to actually perform that finish the fight maneuver. That's going to be represented by the incantation being performed. And that's it. That's where we are now. So,
And we have not left the town yet. We're still.
that's correct. You are still
Yeah.
in this sort of elven settlement within the deep woods.
We've spent at least one night before heading out, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
you-
we've been here like 2 or 3 days because Syrian's been doing a lot of research and talking to people and finally convinced Atani to trust her. And yeah,
All right. Well, the night before we strike out, I have a dream where I'm with my cat. And
Ooh.
then a bird made entirely of shadow clutches it out of my hands and flies away with it and disappears. And I am powerless to follow it.
Cryptic.
And that's the dream.
I see
canon.
how
It
this
does
could be played. Yeah.
So you can mark 0.0001 progress on my tracker. For having a dream.
For having a dream.
A dream. That's all it takes.
Well, I mean, it does give us it gives. We're feeding the DM a possible story loop.
It doesn't mark any visible difference on the bar. It's there and we all know it.
Yeah, it's
That's
one
fine.
1/100th of a tick there.
Just makes
Don't
you
worry,
feel better.
there's already a story loop. Yeah. So that's all taken care of. The cat is woven into the narrative.
The cat is the horror that we're going to kill.
Fight the cat.
Oh no, you'll see. You'll see.
We almost had to fight a cat. She was over. She was over here chirping in my microphone.
Cat.
All right. Are we ready? What is there anything you want to do before setting out into the deep wood? You've had some time to collect yourself and prepare for the battle ahead.
I think I'm as kitted out as I can be. I have my new daggers. I've got my original dagger in my boot, and I've got my crossbow drawn into my cloak.
I feel like we tried to do something with health for me at the end of last session.
And it did not
And
go
it
well.
it went abysmally.
Mm-hmm.
It ended up costing me a spirit.
Yes.
So, I think I'm as good as I can be at the moment as well.
All right.
I wish to paint a picture of a horror on my shield.
Okay. Using your shield bearer ability.
Yes. I paint a picture
Let's
of
pull that up here.
something.
Yes, you have Shield Bearer 2. When you paint your shield with a meaningful symbol, envision what you create, and then if you endure stress as you face off against a fearsome foe, doesn't have to be the same foe that you painted, add +1 and take +1 momentum on a hit. Perfect. All right, so what have you adorned your shield with?
Did we ever? We never really discussed exactly what the horror is. So, can
He
we
specifically said it was a unique creature that it doesn't fit into a known
Yes. So
category.
Just
But we-
envision Ursula from The Little Mermaid.
I say we do know what it is. We just mechanically we
This
know what it is.
is-
So
All right. There is a rough translation that the elves can use. Although this creature is not known by a specific name, the literal translation that they use to describe it translates to the human word banshee.
okay.
Because it does fit
so
the
I-
bill.
So I paint on my shield a imagine the Ring, a woman that looks like the Ring.
I mean, you could
woman.
paint your shield with, like, a horse if you wanted. Just, to be something meaningful to you. It doesn't have to be, this is the thing I'm killing.
Okay, it's a centaur.
All right, there we go.
You can have that on your shield literally the entire game.
That's true. It's
Yeah,
it's
it's meaningful.
yeah, because my newfound lineage.
Mm-hmm.
So centaur.
Centaur.
Yeah, kind of like a horse riding a horse.
Yeah. Just like that.
What?
Like a termed up horse.
Germdo horse.
Yes.
All right. So I will mark that is prepared with a centaur emblem.
And then, I mean, I'm already at 9 momentum, so I might as well use my ironclad.
Yes, to go ahead and switch to geared for war.
Yes.
All right, I will note that on the asset sheet, which should just help you with if you have to roll to endure harm. But because you are now encumbered, that reduces your maximum momentum and the reset value. All right. Anything else asset-wise we need to address? Serene already has Poison Expert kind of mostly topped off. There's nothing else I think that has information that has to be done in advance. Just a reminder for GQ, Glane has Cutthroat 3 now, which means once per fight, you can make a move to secure an advantage by performing a misdirection, which gives you a good reroll if you can secure that advantage.
I've already got my first one mapped out. Kind of.
All right. Perfect. I'm going to have to reread that rule so many times on how that cutthroat order of operations works. Okay. Are we ready?
Yes.
Yes, we are ready to undertake a journey.
Let's roll out.
Let's see here. I don't think we're going to do a full-on journey. This is going to be more of straight into tracking down the beast.
Right.
Okay.
Since we don't, there's not a
So-
specific destination in mind. You know you're after something, but you don't know where it is exactly. But the elves have given you some information on, what to look for. So we're gonna need a gather information check.
That's my specialty.
It sure is. Serene being the wittiest. All right, a weak hit. So
I'm
the
okay with that.
information complicates your quest or introduces a new danger. So let's see. And you get +1 momentum as a result, but you're already at 10.
Yeah.
All right, so let's see here. All right, well, let's roll for this. Is this a new danger we have to face, or is this just merely a complication? I'm going to go 50-50 on this. 51 or above, there is a new danger. 12. Okay, merely a complication. So let's see. What is the nature of this complication? We're going to ask the Oracle for a prompt and just kind of use that. Secure spirit. All right. All right. Secure spirit. That's not in your favor because this is a complication of some sort. I'm going to read this not as you are securing something, but this is the spirit itself is secure. It is protected in some way. The Banshee has some form of... The Banshee is not going to be easy to track down because although you can hear the faint sounds of many elf voices whispering through the forest, they're coming from many directions all around, and it is a very unnerving situation to be in. These are the stolen voices of the Deepwood elves, being sort of puppeted against their will, and like hundreds of puppets on strings in the woods. Each one is whispering in a sort of in various forms of anger or terror. And all around, you just hear these sort of muffled sounds that just kind of chill you to the bone. So I think that everyone will need to roll for endure stress. Is that it? Moves endure stress. Mental shock or despair. I think this is just going to be a light when the creature itself is not around, but you're just hearing the effects of it all around you in the deep wood as you travel through the woods. So let's see. That's going to start by knocking 1 off of everyone's spirit score. And then each person is going to need to roll either spirit or heart, whichever is higher. So for Serene, that's a 3, Glane a 4, and Torgan a 3 because of his good heart score. All right, on a weak hit, basically nothing changes. A strong hit for Glane, and weak hit for Torgan. So, Glane, you have the option of... You can either take 1 momentum, embrace the darkness, or you can shake it off, which is you can spend 1 momentum to get that spirit score back up.
I'm a little light on darkness these days, so I will embrace it.
All right, that tops your momentum off at 10, and actually everyone's momentum is now capped. So just a heads up, if you're using any moves that would net you momentum, you're not going to be able to take advantage of that. All right, we'll still need to get a successful roll in order to bear down on this creature's whereabouts. So far you've kind of made a little bit of progress. You gained information that the creature is somewhere in this region, but it is very confusing to track exactly where it's coming from. It seems to have these voices at a distance, not all in one cluster.
But I mean, this is a strong magical entity.
Mm-hmm.
So, and we're literally like swimming in an ocean of magical energy. So that's gonna be causing ripples. So
Oh, yeah.
the move here is to try and transition from trying to track it audibly and trying to track it more magic sense.
Okay.
Which is going to be a new feeling for some of us.
Right, but you've kind of felt that out a bit while you've been here in the Deepwood, and you've had a few days to sort of adjust.
Yeah, and it's not something that she's unfamiliar with. Backstory-wise, it's never been quite this intense before.
Exactly.
The rest of us try to make the progress roll, or does it have to be whoever has the highest?
I mean, technically any of us can try.
Yeah, but narratively it does sound like Serene is the character that's going to be kind of trying a different way of feeling out where this creature is centered.
Okay.
I mean, if you want to bribe the bot for kindness.
Oh, wait a second.
Ah, that's a 10. I can't fix it.
You can at least
I mean,
change it
I
to
got
a
momentum,
hit, but ooh, that is rough. All right, hang on.
I could, but that would be still a bad situation, and I wouldn't have momentum anymore.
It's true.
How come your rolls aren't showing up anymore?
I see.
Seeing him. Do you still see
You
the ticker
are?
moving?
Oh, you know what? My stream froze.
Ah, that would do it.
like, wait a minute.
Let's see.
Only there was an animated bobbing dog on the screen to let you know when things like that happen.
You would imagine.
All
Yeah, I
right.
miss Rover. Bring Rover back.
He do be vibing.
The current situation worsens. Ooh. All right. I mean, this feels a little bit like the Banshee is the one moving in, rather than you trying to track it down anymore. It seems like the Banshee is moving in towards you.
It's hunting us.
Yeah, it's hunting
Yeah.
you.
Which will still get us to where we need to be. Just
Yes, just
not ideal.
could
Not on
be
our
better.
turns.
Yeah.
Let's see
I mean,
here.
I am kind of playing the role of bait at this point.
More or
being
less.
the elf that can talk.
I had an idea to track it, but I think it doesn't matter anymore. I think it's coming.
At this point, it's just like, hey, look at me!
I'm the eye hole man.
Yeah, I think.
Stay away from my eye holes.
Yeah, I think this thing is gonna move in to manifest itself. Yeah, which may or may not be good. We'll see. Let me
Well, combat means y'all can roll.
switch
so.
the playlist here to the battle music one. Gotta have that
Oh, that's
available.
right, y'all got that.
Whenever the battle music plays, you know something's coming.
Oh yeah. All right.
Got
So
the fourth wall break. Like,
So-
oh no, the music's playing.
the music. Oh no. I'm wondering if, combat-wise, we treat this as an enter the fray that you just failed.
That would make some sense. Since
Uh,
it's kind of ambushing us.
Mm-hmm. Like
It's on us now.
yeah, it has the initiative against everyone, and also it's sort of I think it's going to be once again sort of forcing you to endure stress as it appears. So what happens here? And let's go ahead and bring the move back up for endure stress. So, not so much seen by Glenn and Torgan, but definitely felt by Serene and perhaps heard by the others. The points, these sort of wisps of voices begin congregating in one spot. They begin sort of swirling around you until sort of centering on a point behind you, which Torgan and Glenn can kind of hear the sort of building sound behind them, while Serene also sort of feels that strange tugging sensation that's never been so strong before until visiting the Deepwood. And there's just sort of this faintest silver light there at first. But as the din, the cacophony of voices sort of builds and builds, it begins to take on a more solid form as it manifests in this nearly humanoid shape that's constantly shifting as though seen behind a curtain of water. But the sound strikes at your very soul. This unison roar of hundreds of voices crying out in rage and pure terror all at once strikes and chills you to the bone. This is going to put you down by 2 spirit each, unless you can successfully endure stress. Torgan, you're actually going to get a bonus on this.
Yay.
So endure stress is spirit or heart, whichever is higher. So Serene, that will be 1. Glenn, that will be 2. Torgan, you're actually going to get a 4. I didn't account for that last time, but it didn't make a difference because of your Shield Bearer 2 ability. If you endure stress as you face off against a fearsome foe, you get +1 on that roll.
I did realize that, but I also was like, well, this isn't really we weren't really facing a foe at the time of stress, so I didn't really mention it.
No, I get you.
This might be a good time to use some momentum. Because that's real bad.
Oh, yeah.
And it's a match. So that's real bad.
Well, let's see. If Serene, if you just let that be a miss, then you also suffer 1 momentum. And that's it.
1 momentum's a lot better than 10.
Yeah. Yeah, and the flip side is if you do go for the reset, then you get a strong hit where you can spend a further momentum for 1 spirit, which is just going to go for taking the miss.
I'll take the ding on momentum.
All right. Glenn just gets a weak hit, and Torgan is also a weak hit. So you guys are where you are. Torgan is shaken. He is at 0 spirit, but that doesn't matter unless he has to endure stress again. And also hits a miss. Like, that doesn't make a lot of sense. Like, he can keep enduring stress, but I think it only makes shaken. It only marks the shaken debility if he gets a miss. And I'll try and confirm that while we are going through the fight here. Okay, so that is where we stand now. Yeah, you have to actually not only be at 0, but also fail to endure stress. So you're actually fine right now mechanically. No penalty as it stands.
Oh,
All right.
I always seem to be doing the worst.
No. It's fine.
No.
No, maybe. All right. So this terrible wail of 100 different voices has just chilled you to the bone. But you all steel yourself and prepare for battle. This entity is already bearing down on you, though. You do not have the initiative. You were sort of ambushed. So any moves you make, you're kind of acting on the defensive. You'll try to get your blows in, but you're going to be kind of more reactive here. So as you're describing your moves, it's more of in response to the creature sort of lunging forth.
So Serene is going to be more bold than usual because she is pissed. These are... I mean, sure, maybe it's not the exact group of elves her parents came from, but, these are still the first elves she's seen in, 4 years, and as far as she's concerned, they're her people.
Mm-hmm.
So, she is livid and is going to be making bolder moves than typical. Her very first maneuver is going to be to take a knee and try and put an arrow in it, because this thing is literally using the voices of her people against her as a weapon, and she has some familiarity with magical combat and how psychological magic combat works. So she has an understanding of what's going on, kind of in the back of her mind. So she's definitely going to be very aggressive.
Okay.
And she knows that she's probably also kind of in the bait role right now. So she's going to go ahead and maintain front and center stage. And try and be the distraction to give Torgan and Glane a better opportunity.
All right. I like it.
What do I need to roll?
So since you are going to be shooting at an advancing foe, you are going to be doing a clash maneuver, rolling with edge.
All right. That's a 2 for me. I don't think I have anything that gives me any bonuses here on my archer card.
Oh my gosh, my bit rate is tanking.
I was wondering why.
You keep buffering on my end.
Me too. I was wondering why.
Sorry about that.
It's not just me.
No, I promise I'm not downloading massive amounts of information while we're playing.
I mean, my last stream was horrible to watch. You couldn't keep up with what I was doing.
I'll turn the music off so that I'm not downloading that.
A 7-minute delay isn't that bad.
No.
Yikes.
All right, and I'll make sure my
All right,
phone's
so
not... Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why it's taking so much data right now. Okay, yeah. Rolling with edge.
Iron roll 2.
Are you by any chance only using one core?
Classic. Okay, you have the opportunity to bump this to a strong kit if you wanted to.
It's a 9. It would only tie it.
Oh, you're down to 9. I forgot. Ouch.
Yeah, believe me, I thought about it.
All right. Well, then that is a weak hit. You inflict your harm, but also pay the price, and your foe still has the initiative. Because you are attacking with your bow, that is 2 harm, and then pay the price.
She was fully intending to tank a hit at this point. That. So story-wise, that makes exact sense.
Yeah. So let's see here. What is going to happen here? Is this something where you are getting attacked taking damage during the clash. I think that does kind of fit the bill here on what's going on. This
I would expect a banshee to be kind of wind oriented, so it's probably some sort of
there's
wind force knockback kind of thing.
There's a physical manifestation here, but this is mostly this sort of ethereal creature trying to cling to a solid form. So there, you definitely feel the blow. So let's see exactly what that's going to look like. So this is a formidable foe, which means it's going to deal 3 harm on an attack.
Whoa.
Good lord.
That's not good.
How much did the Molsk deal?
That was
For
4.
reference. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Crazy, huh? You will need to roll Iron Roll 1 to endure harm. So the Banshee sort of lunges forward, just sort of almost with grace, just floating across the ground. And miss. Okay.
You know, this might be a good time to use my new asset
ally?
of loyalist. Yeah. Would it be possible to aid an ally right now?
Let's see here.
Morgan steps in front of Serene.
So typically you're going to want to call that out before someone has to make a roll, but...
Oh, I'm sorry.
No,
I didn't know.
That's quite all right. We haven't done it before.
We're still figuring this out.
We're all figuring it out together. So let's see. Based on what Secure an Advantage does, let's see here. On a strong hit, you make your next move with a +1. That doesn't really help. Yeah, even if you successfully did so, that low roll would not be enough. However,
I could burn momentum.
You could. I know you want to save that.
Strong hit. What happens on a strong hit in this scenario?
On a strong hit, you either get to exchange 1 momentum for one of those health points back, or you can just take 1 free momentum.
Well...
On a miss, it's -1 momentum.
On one hand, it'd be kind of nice, but it hits hard enough that there's no real difference between a 2 and a 1.
Yeah.
So,
might just suffer the momentum.
All
right.
That's my momentum is my health bar at the moment.
Yeah. My bitrate is back to normal, so I'm going to turn the music back on, as quiet as it may be. Gosh, it's really quiet in parts. I need to pick a better combat music. This one. We're picking new music. Okay. So, the Banshee sort of lunges forth, just sort of a point in space there, just moving forward with unerring accuracy, and you just feel this force of its physical manifestation sort of knocking you to the ground as you're trying to you manage to fire off this arrow, but as soon as it strikes, you're immediately just overwhelmed by the force of it just blowing past and through. So you tumble.
At this point, it's point blank shot. I stabbed it with an arrow.
Pretty much, and then you sort of tumble across the ground, getting bruised and cut by the undergrowth as you're knocked off your feet. So Serene is down on the ground. Torgan and Glenn, you guys were directly behind her. The creature's still kind of coming straight at you here.
In normal D&D, that would provoke an attack of opportunity.
I mean, you're not wrong. All right, so what's the play here?
I would like to see if I can attempt to misdirect it.
Ooh. going to perform a feint.
Yes.
Use the jukes.
Torgan and I are pretty much not shoulder to shoulder, but parallel with each other.
Okay.
Either one of us, I guess, make a reasonable target, being the same distance away from it. I would like to see if I can do kind of like a tumbling roll away that makes it appear as if I'm trying to like get out of its way when I'm really trying to kind of roll to put myself a little bit more behind it.
Okay.
Making Torgan a more appealing front and center target so that I can get to it before he has a chance to do so.
Gotcha. All right, so this is your Cutthroat 3 ability. Is that what you're using here?
Yes.
Okay. So that's once per fight that you get to use this.
I'm being thrown under the bus.
I'm trying to make it look like I'm rolling away out of fear when really I'm just trying to get a better position.
Trying to stab it in the back like you do.
Yeah.
I can't shadow walk anymore, so I've got to do it manually.
Right. So what this is going to do is you're going to be making a shadow roll here as secure an advantage. And within that roll, you may re-roll any dice. Actually, let's just leave it at that. Let's not even pull in the momentum deal.
And I have a question about success.
Okay.
In the event that I successfully misdirected, would that put me then in a position to be attacking an unsuspecting foe? With my first one. Because I rolled away now. But I was just in its line of sight.
Yeah, that's rough because you still don't have the initiative at that point.
Yeah, because
You're still going to be kind of on the defensive
of
here.
my existence, but I just wanted to see if that helped.
Yeah, I think in this particular case, I would rule if you had the initiative, I might be game for that. But I think in this case, the odds are still tilted very much against you, and it's going to be very difficult to get into a good position.
We were taken off guard, and now it's surprised.
Yeah, so I think as it stands, Cutthroat 1 will not apply.
All right, so this is
your success on success here, you will get the benefit of secure an advantage, which if it's a strong hit, that means +1 on your next roll.
Okay.
Whatever that might be.
And if I have to burn my momentum to make this work, and then it succeeds, do I get that +1 momentum upon my bounce back?
Yes.
So I'd have 3.
Yes.
Okay.
Order of operations there. The success
So
doesn't process until after the momentum is burned.
Yeah.
All right, so let's see what happens here. So this is going to be a shadow roll, which is a +3 for Glang. Okay. So this is your secure an advantage roll, but you have the opportunity to re-roll any dice because this is a special case secure an advantage for Cutthroat.
Yeah, re-roll that 8, dude.
Yeah, let's re-roll the 8.
Okay, Iron re-roll C. Look at that.
Oh no!
Oh,
Well,
God.
Got worse.
Well, okay, so
Well, now I can't use my momentum to do anything about it.
I know, that's the worst of it. You still successfully secured an advantage. So even though you didn't get the strong hit on that, you still gain advantage here, which mechanically the benefit is +1 momentum, which doesn't really help you. +2 in this case for being Cutthroat 3. So unfortunately, no luck there. But you did successfully perform the feint. So narratively, yes, you sort of did a little bob and weave, duck, roll to get along on the other side of the creature. So if nothing else, you are now flanking the Banshee.
All right. So the intention was to roll out of the way, hit my feet, turn, grab my double fang daggers, and jam it in whatever appears to be this thing's back.
All right. That's going to be a clash move with Iron. So let's see what happens there. Terrible.
So 1, right?
Yes. Not Glaine's strong suit. Ooh. If ever there was a time.
Yeah, that might be a good time.
Yeah, and that would just make it a weak hit, right?
That'll make it a strong hit.
Strong hit. Okay, let's go.
All right. Burning momentum to turn that roll of 2 into a roll of 10. So you had a lot of momentum saved up. So, with a strong hit, you inflict your harm and choose 1. You can either take a momentum or deal 1 extra harm. So you're dealing 2 harm right now.
I'll take the extra harm.
All right. Oops. 5. There we go. And you have the initiative now. So what Glaine just did is perform this maneuver to kind of get around on the other side. Torgen's still kind of keeping the creature's focus, bearing himself up for an attack from this creature. Meanwhile, Glaine, sneaking around behind with this very, very agile roll, manages to sort of slash at the creature. And although it has a very sort of misty form at this point, it still sort of shakes with pain. You hear the warbling voices that are sort of all around, all sort of crying out with this near pain sound. Sort of the fact that this creature is sort of puppeting these voices means it is not expressing its own sort of experiences through the voices, but more of as though a puppeteer was being attacked. Its puppet would not wince in pain, but would just sort of move erratically. So too, these voices sort of these strange noises become just fill the woods. Torgen, you now have a slight opening here. This creature is still sort of bearing down on you. You've kind of got its focus here, but you've got your shield, and you can perform a clash or any other maneuver that you want to here.
You know what? I will perform a clash. I'm gonna try to swipe at it.
All right.
Sword of Zora, go.
The Sword of Zora.
Alright, this isn't a Zelda game.
So do I need to enter the fray on this one?
No. We kind of skipped that step. Special case on this fight, just because of the situation.
And the sword did the incantation for us. The sword can talk.
You know
Sword
what?
is telepathic.
We haven't really expressed the sword audibly communicates, but in some way there's this sort of bond that it's made.
Drops to your mind.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm rolling iron on this one.
Yes, this will be an iron roll, which is a little bit better for Torgen, so that'll be an iron roll 2. And lots of momentum. Ooh, a natural strong hit there. Would you like the extra momentum? Well, you can't take that because you're already capped. So,
being able to get a strong hit like that sure would raise my spirit a little.
You'd think so, but you're in the heat of the moment.
Oh. Well, there's nothing
but
I
we're
can really...
getting close to being able to finish the battle now, guys.
That's right.
There's really nothing I can take on this one.
Well, no, you took the extra. He gave you credit for the extra harm.
Yeah, you get the extra harm on that.
Well, yeah. That's
You did 3 damage instead of 2.
Yeah.
Which the opportunity is there to attempt to finish the fight, though not with 100. I mean, not with the highest possible guaranteed rate of success. It's kind of the Pokeball situation, you don't have it down to like the last sliver of health, but it's low. You can just roll the dice on it if you want.
Can I press my luck and try for another swipe? Do I still have the initiative?
You do. Yeah, if you want.
Maybe
you
you
get it?
swiped it with your sword, now you punch it with your shield?
Oh, a
Is that-
shield bash?
Can I try that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay,
Get a
well,
little
let's,
Captain America.
you know,
going
we're
on?
going double or nothing on this one,
I've still
folks.
got my knives in its back, so I'm holding it for you.
That's you know what? We're gonna double or nothing it. Here
All right.
we go.
Shield bash. Iron roll 2. Okay, so here's the deal. You can't. Oh, and this is a strike move. I almost forgot. You can't move to finish the fight until you get a strong. You have to get a strong hit to lead into finish the fight.
So I need to burn the momentum.
You'd have to burn the momentum to make it happen.
Let's do it.
All right, we're doing it. Back down to 1 momentum, but this thing is maxed out. Serene, I think over there you've kind of gotten to your feet, gotten back to your senses after being knocked down by this thing, and seen Torgan and Glenn kind of having this creature sort of on the ropes here. I think Serene is the one that begins chanting the incantation here.
Yeah, so I'm going to have taken a slightly defensive position, and I'm going to have my loot across my lap, and start doing the thing.
All right, trying to seal the Banshee back from whence it came. All right, we are doing a progress move here.
Banish.
Into the
I
fight.
banish thee.
Banish the Banshee.
Okay, so no momentum gets to be used on this. This is just rolling against a 10 and hoping for the best. Oh no!
No.
So why are you screwing us over tonight?
So this is the first time I think this has ever happened.
No.
It is. You're not. Why do you have the bot set to mean tonight?
So what do we do now?
Well, okay, so here's what happens. This foe is no longer in the fight. It is killed out of action, flees, or surrenders as appropriate. But this is the yes but scenario here. You must
Don't you
also
dare.
choose one. Either it's gonna be painful, it's gonna be stressful, it's going to be a short-lived victory. A new danger appears or an existing danger worsens. There's going to be collateral damage, an objective falling out of reach, or you're marked for vengeance. Okay, well that one's out. That doesn't make any sense for this. This creature, though it does have a will of its own, it is in a very strange land as far as it's concerned. It is a creature from another plane entirely that is sort of latched on here to this material realm. I think there might be a way to actually get this into the main plot somehow. Okay.
You know,
This creature is being banished back to the mana spring, which we've already established. This is sort of the source of magic in this area. This is like a fountain where magic just pours out at a dangerous rate that the elves are trying to sort of prevent cataclysm by limiting how much magic spills into the area. So it's a very dangerous thing.
it would make sense for Serene to endure stress, because she had to do the incantation. She's the one who's sensitive to magic, and there would be a magic backlash from a banishing.
Mystic Backlash is an actual thing in the game. This is a good idea right here. This could be a good table for me to use here.
Like,
let's
it
see
could
here.
just shatter her loot, which would temporarily
That would be very sad.
deactivate one of her abilities
That would be very sad, yeah.
until she could get it replaced. Or
Let's see here.
As long as I don't break my knives, I just got this.
Okay. Here's what I'm visualizing. This Banshee is getting just pulled back to the mana spring by sheer force. It is being just yanked back by the force of the magic. and it has a somewhat physical manifestation here. I think it is very possible that Serene is sort of in the line of fire here, that this creature is being just this spring-loaded banishment is going to sort of drag Serene along. Now, how far and how badly, that's the question. Like, we're not saying Serene is getting like knocked into the mana pool here, because that's probably a long ways away. Let's see here. What does make sense? Spirit does.
Well, if she's a story weaver, she channels her magic ability through her instrument, so it would make like that mechanically.
Mm-hmm.
Like what would make the most sense would be for it to have something to do with the music of the incantation and banishing.
Yeah.
Or
let's see
maybe
here.
she
be.
temporarily suffers voice loss.
Ooh.
It would have to be temporary though, since we won.
Of course. Well, on a miss, it's a straight up everyone lost. That could spill into a whole nother. Well,
Technically a weak hit, not a lot.
Yeah. Well, you've won, but at what cost?
Yeah.
The thing is, with the creature destroyed, a sort of fetch quest of go grab Serene's voice isn't particularly compelling.
Yeah.
So
the mechanics of that are kind of meh.
Yeah,
You
it's
freed
like
all the voices of the elves at the cost of your own.
that's your filler quest. If it's temporary of okay, now you just got to go get it. All right, there's nothing much there. Well, but
He could just be unconscious for a couple days.
that's true. Let me see what the shaken debility. Ooh. Okay. So you're already at 1 spirit. And technically you're not supposed to get the debility unless you're already at 0. Oh. So, but it could be an interesting thing. Like if you did, for instance, lose your loot, in the ensuing force of the end of the battle, what that does is you cannot increase your spirit until you clear that condition, which happens through Sojourn maneuver.
And considering we're about to go do that, probably.
So again, it's something. It's a very minor. It's a very meh. Like this is a very rare situation.
I'm okay with it being a meh consequence or a quickly cleared consequence that otherwise would have been devastating, because she definitely like the way we're doing this story-wise, like the compulsion is like she put herself intentionally in harm's way to make this battle work.
Exactly. Doesn't that feel like this needs to be a pretty major backlash of some sort?
I mean, like, she's the one who like went out on the limb and was like, okay, like I am going to save these people's voices. Like she was like definitely all in on, you know, whatever it takes, personal cost to be damned. So, like, because that's like who her character is at this point, and it makes sense for her character arc and story development, and y'all aren't used to seeing her this way. But given like the amount of given like the nature of the vow that she made and the connection she's developed with Atani, the like conceptually all of that makes sense. So if it were to be something where, okay, she takes a major hit and then we go get it fixed by turning in our quest, then, that makes sense. Because she basically was putting herself on a limb to, try and save these people.
All right, we'll do the meh. We'll do the meh. We'll do the rules as written. Endure stress, which drops you to 0 spirit and drops you by 1 momentum because you didn't have enough spirit to endure the. Well, actually, it's 3, isn't it? Well, that would be 2. I think. Let's see. Or
maybe
no,
story-wise.
Let's do it. Let's go harm.
Okay.
Yeah. So, enduring 2 harm, which drops you to 0 health but 7 momentum, so you're still up. But
I might be out of it. Morgan might have to carry me back.
yeah, you're heavily injured, but you're not dying. You're not actively dying.
She may be just unconscious from the magical whiplash.
Yeah.
Because she's not used to working with this volume of magic.
Yeah. The important thing is the dust has settled and you have succeeded.
Mm-hmm. And now somebody go please put me somewhere with wine and bandages and...
Let's see here. Got that. We'll put that at 4. Okay. All right. And now we are going to return to the elves to see if we can fulfill the vow. Which, progress-wise, I mean, it feels like we've done everything, but it was a fairly short quest.
Mm-hmm.
We're just that good.
I mean, I guess, but...
You're telling me that whole elf society couldn't do this? I can't even shadow walk.
Well, none of them could talk.
I just hit it with a sword twice.
You hit it with a sword once and punched it with your shield.
Oh, well,
the incantation was the issue there.
It had an arrow in it.
Oh, yeah, they couldn't talk, so they couldn't do the incantation.
That was the whole point.
Okay.
Yeah, that was why you guys were doing it.
Yeah, okay.
So, do we
That's why you needed Serene to do the magic.
do we roll this one at 8 here? Because I could see a little bit more to be done, but... but not much.
I think Dobbs is just upset that went so well.
If I wanted to, that would have been a harder rank fight, dealing 4 damage instead.
Ooh.
A la Mosk.
Serene just kind of throwing herself out there and being like, "Yo, punch me!" So the people who are good at punching things have an opportunity.
Yeah, it works.
Sort of set the stage for that fight.
He's going to end the season of DobbsQuest with any good Mega Man game, just a boss rush. Everything we've ever
That's how we
fought
do it.
in succession.
The wolf riding the wolf.
I know we feed the DM a lot in this, but you have to be careful what you feed the DM.
I mean, the establishment of the Molsk in general in the lore, it's a Chekhov's gun now at this point. That's a thing that's out there. There are Molsks.
Hate it.
Okay, so the creature has sort of been swept away. The voices have sort of dispersed. You're not exactly how that's supposed to work. So I think that's what we're going to represent by this being a sort of uncertain fulfill your vow here. Iron Progress 8 of 10. So we don't know if there'll need to be some kind of final shenanigans to set things correct. Nope, that was it.
Good.
Oh, and it's a match.
It is a match.
Ooh.
So first off, you did the thing.
We did the thing.
You did the thing.
Serene's
almost-
kind of
that's-
unconscious at this
That's
point.
almost a year.
So that was a dangerous quest. Not super terrifying, but that does knock you up to 11 experience points each.
Whoop, whoop.
Yay!
It was a match, so as the banshee disappears, some coins fall to the ground. All us got builder.
Loot.
But that wasn't for fighting the banshee, though. That was for completing the quest.
Yeah, that's a good.
So,
point.
like, I'm kind of envisioning,
Did-
like, the three of us kind of arrive back with Serene slung around Torgan's shoulders. And as we walk up, and they're all like excited, like, "Oh my god, we can talk!"
Yeah, there's singing, there's dancing, there's this just incredible celebration. The sort of timid elves from before that you saw sort of hiding behind the trees, catching glances from the branches, are now just out in full force, celebrating together, heralding you as the heroes. And I think at that point you need some rest. Heroic though you may be, heroes need to recover significantly.
So Torgan and Blaine come walking up, and everybody's like, "Oh, hey, look, it's that!" And then this, like, Serene's just, like, draped across Torgan's shoulders, like, obviously knocked out, and they're all like, "Oh, shit."
Yeah.
So, I guess at some point when she wakes up, there will be story and plot there.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Probably with the bond with Atani, and we might be able to build
we need
role
to-
so that there's like a specifically bond established between those two.
Yeah, I think so.
Character-wise?
I think so. It feels like that you've stood together to face hardships. You've made sacrifices for their cause. Forge a bond as a move seems very appropriate.
Mm-hmm. But like we have to get her back to conscious and stuff first.
Yeah. There's some time spent resting and recovering. Now, is this a bond with the community at large here?
I think so. But also possibly specifically, like between the party and the community, but also possibly specifically between Serene and Atani.
Yeah. All right.
So are we doing
let's
this?
see here.
Are we doing the sojourn or are we doing the forge of bond?
I think we're gonna do Forge a Bond first because there's a benefit on Sojourn if you already have a bond with the community.
Okay.
So
Because I already know what I want to do with my newly acquired experience points.
oh well.
Yeah.
Well, you can do that first if you'd like.
I would like to.
All right.
So it appears, hold on, that I would like one. Which one was it, GQ?
It was the one that gives you extra experience when you do something. Let me find it.
Which one was?
Let's see.
It was one of the Slayer ones, wasn't it?
It was Slayer 2.
When you fulfill your vow.
Oh, that's when you've already.
that's
okay,
not-
so Slayer
that's-
2. When you swear a vow to slay a beast or horror, you may roll any die. And then when you fulfill your vow and mark experience, take +1 experience.
This would have been something that you would have to have had at the top, so it'll
Yes.
apply to the next thing that we do, but it's not going to work right now.
Yes.
Never mind.
Okay.
Never
I could-
mind.
It's still
I thought
good
this
long
was-
term, because every time you swear something, you'll get something more of it.
Right.
It's not garbage, it just isn't going to work immediately.
Okay, never mind.
All right. That's fine.
Sorry.
All right.
I've got this paper printed out in front of me, and I still keep screwing it up. That's
It's
fine.
okay. Did you want to switch back to?
Oh yes,
Lightly
lightly
armored.
armored, please.
All right, got it. Okay, so are we gonna forge a bond here?
I think that's where we are.
Okay. Oh, and actually, well, that doesn't really help for you. Forge a bond. I'm seeing if any of these assets, now that I've got these all in text form, I can just search for all your assets to see if they apply to forge a bond.
I was going to say, so I was wrong. It was Slayer 3 when you slay a beast or horror, and when you sojourn, you can reroll any die.
Ah, that's when you make a trophy.
Yes.
Which I don't feel like that really applies to this particular case.
Yeah, because it didn't drop anything.
Yeah, but if you want to take that for next time.
I couldn't loot it because it was ethereal and it left.
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah. Unfortunately, this one just kind of zipped away.
Oh.
No.
I mean, maybe there was a puddle of ectoplasm. If we just are
Makes it for a
feeling
great
really
trophy.
desperate. Kind of has the consistency of Play-Doh. You could come up with something.
Oh, yeah. All right, so are we making two separate bonds here? One, the group making a bond with the Deepwood Elves, and a second, Serene forging a bond specifically with Atani?
What I had in mind.
Okay. In that case, Torgan will probably want to roll heart, since he's got the biggest heart. So this will be for forging a bond.
Oh.
Torgan has failed us.
Hey.
Hmm.
Well, nope. They don't want a bond. Nope. They have rejected me.
Meanwhile, Serene and Atani. Gosh, that sucks.
Well, they
You get
rejected
to-
Torgan.
Yeah.
Maybe
Well-
they're just still a little. Maybe we can try. Weren't we going to try the surgeon after we did the forge bond? 'Cause
Yes.
that gives us a bonus.
Yeah, so you can still do a sojourn move. But let's get the Atani bond checked.
Yeah.
Because I mean there's probably a good story reason for this rejection, I'm sure, but
I'm sure.
Well, yeah, they don't. They're super.
yeah, they're still reclusive.
hesitant
They're not
about the.
Yeah.
They're just a
they're-
bunch of horse haters.
apparently.
Well, you know, elves and fae have backstories. Centaurs are technically faekin. You're still a little weird. They don't know.
Storyweaver 1 for Serene gets you a +1 on this roll, so you're going to be doing Iron Roll 2.
Woo.
We can't. Oh, there's something
A
more.
9. Why is there a 9?
Always a 9, isn't there?
I guess I have high momentum, but not high enough to beat a 9.
See, now I don't like them either.
Okay, well, all right.
Story-wise, it's solid. Dice-wise, your bot doesn't like us tonight.
No, it does not. All right, well, let's deal with the sojourn move. Now that we know that we do not get a bond here.
On a weak hit.
I didn't want to bond with them anyway.
All right.
Well, hold on. On a weak hit, don't I get something?
Yes, we'll get back to that, but that's gonna take us away from all this rest of the stuff. I figure we need to deal with health and other essentials.
Yeah.
We're gonna pause the plot for a bit and try to get some numbers on the board. Turtle, give us another Iron Roll 3. To see if we can get some health and everything else back. Okay, we get this at least.
Ugh.
All right,
Lord.
on a strong hit, you and your allies may each choose 2 from the categories below. The first 3 don't apply because we don't have any of those abilities. So you get 2 of the rest each. And there is also that if you want, you can roll another heart attempt to try and go double or nothing on one of these, or something like that. So the important things to point out is everyone is very low on spirit, and Serene is very low on health.
Which is a problem because I'm the party's healer.
Yes.
I can roll an 11 to heal either of you two, but y'all can't heal me.
Yeah.
I'm gonna risk it.
Oh
I'm in a
man.
gambling mood tonight.
All right.
So do I
you roll
what do I roll?
heart. You roll heart. To focus on one of your chosen recover actions.
Okay. All right, here we go.
Weak hit. All right. What that means is you only get to pick one of these things. +2 spirit, +2 momentum are the only ones that might really suit you.
I missed.
Yeah.
So that take okay. I'll take the spirit.
Okay.
I'm going to take a recuperate into consort.
All right. That does put you in better position. And then Glane.
What am I rolling?
You don't have to roll unless you want to, but you get 2 things to add +2 to spirit, supply, momentum. If you want to double or nothing, that's a heart roll.
Which is terrible for me.
Yeah, you can change that +2 to a +4.
Gosh. I'm gonna go one. Oh, and I can't double up on them. Yeah. Unless I do double or nothing.
I got greedy.
I'll do spirit and momentum.
All right. Good pick. Oh, and let's change this back. All right. Whew. So, back to that Forge a Bond roll. So this changes things a bit. So first of all, the elves do not wish to forge a bond with your team. In the elven community. You are outsiders, and though they are grateful, they are still a proud people, and they do not welcome you in as one of their own. You are still outsiders, even Serene. And this is
jerks.
It's a little bit painful to hear that she is still not found her home, in a sense. And you do need to pay the price for this miss as well on the Forge a Bond. So what does that look like? That may just be a momentum penalty on Torgen's part.
Hey.
Either momentum from Torgen or spirit from Serene.
Well, I just got some.
You can make an endure.
It away.
You can make an endure stress roll to change that to momentum.
Yeah, that seems like the best plan. Was this like what I just did for you guys, and y'all still are being like that?
Pretty much.
Man.
Yeah. All right. So roll iron roll.
I'm not
2.
gonna tell flattering stories about you guys.
Let's
This
see.
is
What
going in the song.
This is going in the... I reported this on Facebook live.
He has like a burn book.
This is a what for me?
Iron roll 2. Okay, weak hit. It just sticks.
Okay.
Spirit stuck at 2. All right, so now the bond attempt with a Tawny. That was a weak hit. So they ask something more of you first. So, I want somehow for the main, not just this season in general, but the main overarching quest to have something to do with these mana springs that we've just added to the plot. Because that is a great excuse for your ragtag band to start basically going across the countryside with a specific mission in mind.
It's Horcruxes.
Kind of, sort of. It's a MacGuffin. There's these scattered things that you have to go do because reasons. Now, exactly what those reasons are.
Go to the water temple and...
I mean, yes.
Yeah.
Basically, yes. So these mana springs are just sort of gushing forth with magic, and that's not how it's supposed to be. But why would your team get involved here? What are you supposed to even do? Why would you ever want to go? So there is one thing. You know that the other mana springs are where other elves are.
Yeah, there's definitely reason for Serene.
Yeah.
But Glenn and Porgan, she's just kind of dragging him around at this point.
Well,
More or less.
I mean, Glenn, this is possibly a reason that his shadow walking ability had to be stoppered for the moment. So fixing this may help him with his magical abilities as well. So, I mean, he could definitely get something out of this.
Porgan just found out he's a horse, and the only people that could even maybe give him answers
are magical people. Yeah, I feel like we all have a reason to see this.
I can expand the network of people that know about my missing cat and try to find new abilities to help me rescue it.
Well, and you had that dream. Maybe somehow the cat getting stolen had something to do with your shadow abilities getting tainted, because you were absorbing and using twisted magic that you didn't know was damaged.
And let's not forget my hidden enemy who wiped my shield clean and told me not to be asking questions.
That's true. There's some open threads out there.
So Serene, in kind of getting these two, she just kind of adopted these two guys as like, hey, y'all are my bodyguards now. We're gonna go find some elves, okay? And now their plots are super entangled with hers.
It was like it was meant to be this way or something.
Yeah. All right. So if not the mana spring here, what is it that Atani wants? Ooh.
Well, he's a half elf, so maybe.
That's true.
Maybe there's maybe the human parent was from further inland or from a certain area. Maybe that's where one of the other springs are. Maybe he's sending us to go figure out what happened to that community that his human part came from.
Perhaps.
Because he'll connect with Serene on that finding your heritage level.
Mm-hmm. Let's see here. Oh, that doesn't work, unfortunately. There was one thing I was looking at. There's an asset specifically for marking a bond with the elves, that effectively gives you a +1 in one stat, but there's penalties associated with it. So I was wondering if what I want you to do is to, take my mask and something. But it would take 3 experience points. Actually, you know what? Day, if you want this, since you just got some experience points, would you like the masked asset? masked. I would let you take this. The idea being that you kind of mechanically you kind of dip into negative available experience points, kind of taking out an experience point loan, because it does fit narratively very well right now.
Get your reverse mortgages.
That effectively so the elves that you've been seeing are wearing these masks concealing their face and features. And I believe Atani has already sort of revealed his face to you as the three of you have been spending time here. I think that happened last session.
Yeah, I saw he took his mask off when he and I were alone.
Yes, and I think he would maybe want you to have his mask as a sort of a token of your bond to mark that. But in some way, it is a burden, perhaps, and that's why this is the thing he's asking of you. Like, he wants you to take this with you. So maybe it's it's not really a negative that he's asking you to do something. It's full on. No, this is in your favor, but he is asking you must take this. Which
what is face desolation? Or whatever that says. It's kind of small on my screen.
Let's see here. Face desolation. That is, I think that's when you endure stress, but you're already at 0 stress. Actually, I can just look that up.
You're already out of spirit and
yeah.
face stress again.
Yeah, it's when you are brought to the brink of desolation. Oh, this is effectively like in the way that when you're taking damage, you could die. This is when you're taking spirit damage, your spirit or sanity breaks. So this is another sort of end condition for your character.
Okay.
But mechanically, this would be a very handy thing for you to have, and it fits your character, being an elf yourself. This could be a Thunderwood mask, which basically gets you a +1 on every edge roll as long as you are wearing the elven mask.
Did I get a detriment on?
Yeah, that.
Health?
But every time you roll a 1 on that kind of roll that you would normally get a +1 on, you get -1 health.
I'm a backline fighter. I don't take damage that often.
That's true.
Kind of a consequence. I get that.
So, mechanically, what's the difference between edge and iron?
Between edge and iron? Oh, edge are agility or precision moves. Iron is aggression, forceful moves. D&D, edge is dexterity. Iron is strength and constitution.
Okay.
This is one of the things we discussed me possibly getting.
Yes, but I
Which is
feel
not
like
happening.
I feel like it really fits Serene because specifically she's kind of forming a bond with Atani. And
Yeah,
the
I was going to
other
be like
elves-
we're taking away your shadow walking, and this will keep it at bay, and now you have this kind of
Yeah.
agreement.
And I did consider something like this for the whole party. But yeah. I've still got some
Most of
ideas
the-
floating around for Glaine's character.
So, like, enter the fray and stuff is edge rolls, right?
Depends.
No, those are iron rolls.
It depends. It depends on how you are approaching the fight. If you're like charging in with a sword, that's an iron roll. If you're firing at a distance, that's edge.
I'm hiding in a tree, that's an edge.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And if you're
which is
ambushing,
what I do
that's-
as
if
an
you're
archer.
ambushing, it's actually shadow for enter the fray typically.
Yeah.
Just depends on kind of the intent, like if you're aiming for precision or ambush kind of stuff. So what do you think on this asset?
I had been planning on taking some more archer traits, but this does seem pretty useful.
Yeah, just
It
very much
does make
feels...
a lot of story sense.
Yeah, that's kind of why I'm kind of leaning that direction.
I can do the plot device move. Yeah, we'll
Plot device.
This is also your one chance to get it, because you can't choose to get it later, because you can't just be gifted an elf mask.
Yeah.
In some other town.
That's true. And the only other archer thing you were missing was a resupply with hunting.
Yeah, which I usually end up doing that a lot, so it might have been nice to have.
That's true. That's true.
But that can be next time.
Yeah.
Not urgent.
Something to save up for.
Yeah, I guess Thunderwood with Edge would make the most sense, because I'm already at 3 at Wits, so the Whisperwood wouldn't make... It doesn't make as much sense. Yeah, we can do, the Edge one.
Huzzah!
And I guess I'm just gonna be wearing a wooden thing on my face a lot?
I mean,
It's
maybe.
gonna be a little weird.
It's a little weird, but...
I mean, when we're going into combat, it's basically plot armor, so...
That's... yeah.
I have 2 plot armors, so I mean,
All right, so let's see here. So we're going to go with Thunderwood.
Yeah.
And I'm the third one.
As a back-end fighter, that seems to make the most sense.
Yeah. All right, I'm going to kind of mark this on our asset sheet here. All right.
Does Tani have any apologies for how ungrateful the rest of these jerks are?
Yeah, I think he does sort of feel as though the the sort of cold shoulder that you're getting from the other elves is sort of deeply ingrained in their heritage and culture, but is a sort of old ways sort of thought process. But he admits he himself is sort of an outsider among them in a sense, being only half elf. So perhaps he is more willing to look beyond elven customs and rituals.
If he's like, y'all noticed that I'm an elf too, right?
Yeah, but you're not their elves.
Yeah, I don't know where my elves are from.
Well, hopefully
If
we'll be able
anybody
figure that
happens to
out.
know and wants to tell me, that'd be great.
These
Now that
elves
y'all
make
can talk
cookies to
again,
make a
ass.
toy.
You know what? I think Atani would know of at least one other mana spring that he could sort of give you the location of as a sort of lead. You know, it might not be much, but perhaps it's enough.
No, it's better than any of these other people.
Yeah.
It's like,
Let's go with that.
She literally saved all these people's voices so that she could talk to them. Like, are any of them even willing to talk to her at all?
I mean,
is there any point in a gather information role?
They are, you know, they're not like shunning you or anything, but they're not. the Forge a Bond has failed with the community just because they are sort of very closed off, and aren't really they're not willing to sort of open themselves up to outsiders like that. You know, they are grateful. They are grateful. They are willing to let you, eat with them, celebrate with them, but they do not feel like you are part of their family in a sense.
Yeah, well, to be fair, she felt like an outsider in the community she was raised into. So. Yeah.
And that's where that dinged your spirit was when Torgan failed the Sojourn move. That's what that is. Is you feel, slighted that I know that this is not my home. Thanks.
Yeah. Where home wasn't my home either.
Yeah.
But, maybe there's some kind of scholar that amongst them, some kind of records keeper that would at least be willing to nerd out about history for a few minutes with a traveling scholar.
Yeah, perhaps.
Scholar. You know where this is going.
Yeah, thanks, Turtle. Yeah, and maybe sort of the combined information that you sort of gather along with some of the rumors Atani knows allows you to piece together sort of where another mana spring may be, and therefore another community of elves, a different tribe, perhaps your elves.
It's like, okay, well, maybe that's enough to feel good about.
Yeah.
Okay. And she's going to make sure they don't notice that she has Atani's mask. Like, she's going to put that at the bottom of her bag.
Yeah, good idea. Either way, this does mark a step of progress on your vow. So we have that. Woo! Now, here's the big question, and I think once we resolve this will be the end of tonight's adventure, is we need to figure out where are we going next? What is this other place that you have sort of clued in on as a potential location of a mana spring? Where are we looking here?
I'll bet the Oracle knows.
I bet you're right.
I bet we're going to have to go back to that port town and be like, hey, we need a boat to go to, mysterious island we just found out about.
It could be. Here. So, let's see here.
They're not expecting to see us alive, so...
there's the
I kind of want to see the look on their face when they find out we survived.
Let's see. Theme, action, location, descriptor... see, location might give us things like tree or bridge, which is not super useful. So I'll roll it. If nothing else, it's going to give me a D100 as part of it, which I can plug that into one of these other oracles that I don't actually have plugged in. But maybe it's just going to give us a perfect location that we can work with. Whoa! Huh.
Oh!
Well, hey, look! Suddenly the bot's on board with, the whole plot thing.
That's a little too on the nose.
Whoa, okay.
Wow! That's very on the nose.
Thank you, bot.
That's very in line with that picture I sent you all in Discord.
Okay, so the bot likes him, it just hates us.
Uh-huh. Okay,
Dobbs,
so...
you need to adjust your bot settings.
Yeah, seriously. Man.
Apparently random isn't very random.
An anomaly, an ancient anomaly. That is... I mean, that's still not super descriptive. But it's certainly interesting. Let me get one more location here, and I mean, we know it's an anomaly in a sense. More.
Oh yeah, the mystical moorlands over on that random island that people don't like to go to, because there's like some sort of like reef that the boats don't like or something.
Right off the I-20 by the Golden Corral.
That we're gonna,
Or I like
have to
class.
pay somebody a lot of plot points to try and take us there, or maybe steal a boat or something.
Yeah. All right. Tract of uncultivated upland, a heath, but also an anomaly. Okay. So kind of just vegetated wilds, plains. Interesting.
Oh, you're in the way, maybe.
But why is it anomalous? I guess
Because
that's
of all the magic that's springing out.
I mean, I suppose so, but I mean, with the Deepwood being a sort of magical anomaly, it's formed these massive trees that blot out the sun in the area. An anomalous field. I guess we'll figure out. I guess we're gonna figure it out.
Maybe it's a.
You think
place where
more?
nothing-
You think, like that automatically for me makes me think of like, tech set in old school Britain.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe we have some kind of persistent mists, or like we
Okay.
have like a whole Mists of Avalon situation.
I like the mists. I like a sort of eternal fog. Yeah, something like that. I could see that working. Well,
Like
all right.
Half the first. That's like first half of Great Expectations, isn't it?
All right, well then you guys, it's sort of a low line, it's kind of a little bit wetlands going on here, but for the most part just this sort of massive misty field.
Moistlands.
Moistland. All right, so I guess next time you guys are going to be setting off for the Mistlands. The fogged,
So,
the
I
enshrouded,
check my feet to see if I have any like webbing. It's like,
the shroud. How about the shroud?
ooh, that's a good ominous name.
All right, we're heading for the shroud.
Cerulean City.
It is a sort of anomaly, an ancient moor. Enshrouded in a thick, never-ending fog, and somewhere in there, apparently, within the center of it, are another tribe of elves, and this is very far away as well. So we're gonna call that a journey to the shroud. What are we gonna call that? A formidable or an extreme journey?
This one was extreme, and it took like a few too many episodes to get here.
All right,
So maybe formidable.
we'll call it formidable then. All right. Well, we've got
Just
our
so that we
goal.
don't get to episode 402 of season 1.
That's true. I don't
Episode
know.
4.
I don't know exactly what season 1 is going to end on, but I don't know. We'll
Episode
find out.
420.
I don't mean episode-wise so much as plot-wise, because, oh man, I just don't know. I just don't know what's gonna. It feels like we have a lot of very short plots, like 2 or 3 episode plots that are vaguely connected, but I don't see the overarching plot very much yet. It's starting to form, but it's still a little uncertain right now.
Well, we have to fix magic in the world,
Let's say
obviously.
it's very Harry Potter. The first couple books, it was like, there's this one thing, and then the next 4
Yeah.
books were like, we've got one thing that we're doing, and
Yeah, that's what I'm looking for, is that one thing. I feel like fixing magic feels like a like that's a campaign setting thing. Like that's not a season 1 thing. That's a the entire series thing. Is that like we don't even get involved in that until like season 4. There's a moth.
That's the lightning bug.
It's better than the lightning bug, yeah, that usually plagues you.
Season 4, when we're all like level 400 and super buff and one-shotting waltz.
I mean, I don't even think the same characters will be around by that point for whatever reason, but I don't know.
Set in the future.
Maybe by then we have space cars, who knows?
Finally.
Not the same characters, but it is their descendants.
Mm.
I'm Torgan the Fourth.
Good old Torgan the Fourth.
But somehow I become more horse-ish.
Space Horse. Horse to course.
You know, Morgan hung out in the giant... He ate a few too many of those giant mushrooms on those, you know, darkwood trees, and it, you know, just... something happened.
Mm-hmm.
He, like, woke up to magic, and suddenly, you know, he's neighing, and, you know...
Neighing and
eating
braying.
hay, and... thinks hay is tasty, and, you know, we don't know. It just happened.
Hay is tasty.
Yeah. All right. Well,
Already started.
that was episode 15. So we will we'll see what happens next time. We have some direction on where we're heading next. Hopefully more adventures to be had. Any parting thoughts? All right.
Next week is the Hot Springs episode. Stay tuned.
I see. All right. Good night, everybody.